Hey guys, how's it going, man? Welcome back to Kickstart Adventures. I hope you're having a kickstart day. Anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to share with you the difference between a pot still and a reflux still. And so a lot of people have asked, what's the difference between a pot still and a reflux still? Now we're going to discuss what the difference is. I'll show you the difference, also how they work, and also importantly, why choose a pot still over a reflux still, or a reflux still over a pot still. And the answer is in what we want to actually achieve when we're running our spirit run. Alright, so let's take a look at that first of all. Well, as you know, this is my pot still that I made and designed. So let's talk about how pot still works first of all. So we have our wash, whether it's just a clean sugar wash, or whether it's actually maybe a malted wash. For instance, we might be doing a single malt whiskey and we might have barley as the grain, or we might have a multi-grain. And so what we want to achieve is pick up some of those flavors of the grain to enter into the actual final product that comes out the other end once it's condensed. Now a pot still doesn't have that much copper surface for the heavier minerals, flavors and things to cling onto and drop back down. So when the temperature rises and vapor starts to form in a pot still, you get the flavoring along with the vapor, along with a bit of water vapor that rises up under pressure, and it pushes through the still. And at this point, a lot of the water vapor along with much of the flavoring gets stuck on the side of the head of the pot still, but that's just an empty barrel. But the ethanol and some flavoring along with the ethanol goes through and travels through, and then it condenses through our condenser. And then at the end of the day, you get a product coming out here that is ethanol. The ABV might be a little lower, it might be 60%, but it has flavoring. And that's the reason why you want to use a pot still, not a reflux still, because the pot still allows some of the flavor, or more of the flavor, to go through with the ethanol vapor, with a bit of moisture and water vapor, and that then comes through, and your end product that comes out here is crystal clear, but it's got a bit of flavoring. It's a high spirit, maybe 50, 60, maybe even 70%. But it has flavor with it. It picks up the barley, it picks up the grain, it picks up the rye, or whatever you add as flavoring to your multigrain mix or single malt mix. So that's the idea about a pot still. So this is my still, and this is called the pot still. Now I've only used the pot still up until now, but I've worked out a way to convert this pot still into a reflux still. So you've seen how the pot still works. So now in order to create a reflux still, we have to add copper, and what I found is a very fine copper mesh. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to fill this head of the still up with copper mesh. As the vapor then passes through, there's much more copper content or copper surface for the vapor, the water vapor and the minerals to stick onto and drop back down, and it only allows pure ethanol, pure alcohol to pass right through and then be condensed, and your spirit that comes out in the end over here is just way cleaner, and it doesn't have much flavoring, but it's a good clean alcohol. And then what you can do is you can then add flavoring, and that's the difference between a pot still and a reflux still. A reflux, you want high ABV. It takes a lot of the flavor out, but then you're going to add flavor, but you get a very good quality high ABV. And then you can do whatever you want to. You can make a whiskey by adding whiskey flavor. You can make a rum. You can make a gin. You can make a vodka. You can make anything you like, a bourbon, by adding an amount of flavoring to give it that flavor. So you have a good spirit, high alcohol, ABV, but you add flavoring. That's the reflux still. But the pot still, well, when you're doing a barley or a rye or a corn mash, then you want to pick up the flavoring, and a pot still allows some of that flavoring, or not I say some, it allows more of the flavoring to go through, because even with a reflux still you'll still get a bit of flavoring of what you're putting through. But in my opinion, there's no point in doing reflux if you want to get good flavor from the mash that you've been using. So my next little project is just to run a clean white sugar spirit run. Now in that case, I'm going to convert this pot still into a reflux still by adding copper mesh inside the head of the still here. That gives a whole lot more copper surface for the minerals and the bad flavors to stick onto and fall back down, and it just allows pure clean alcohol ethanol to pass through into the condenser, and then we get a good, very clean, high quality spirit coming out the other end. So I've done my run. I'll show you that now. I've done my fermentation run, and today's a good day, but I think what we'll do is we're going to run the still tomorrow and get that high flavor, get that high quality ABV spirit going through it. So that's the basics of a pot still and a reflux still. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me just show you now how I convert this pot still of mine to a reflux still. Alright guys, so this is the copper mesh. It's just a whole lot of clean copper mesh that I've rolled up into a ball, and we want to stuff this copper mesh into the still. So basically I'm pushing it down here, right down into the head, and that then makes for a whole lot more surface, copper surface, as the vapor passes through that. And I'm putting these little panel plates here just to hold it in position, and now we have a reflux still. I'll bring this closer to the camera so that you can see. Can you see the mesh in there? There's the mesh, and those little plates just hold it in place. So now if we put this back, pretty much what we got now is a reflux still. So let's put it through the paces and see how we go tomorrow. We want to achieve, remember, reflux, a high ABV, pure, clean spirit that we're going to eventually add flavors to make a variety of spirits. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Tune in again in a couple of days time, and I'll do the actual run, the spirit run, and see how this reflux still actually works and see what the ABV is. It'll be interesting to find out. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch up later. Cheers. Just before you go, guys, here's my clean sugar run. So it's been fermenting for a week now. The initial specific gravity was 1.100, and as you can see, it's still fermenting a little bit. It's slowed down a lot, but I think by tomorrow it might have stopped, and then I can run it through the still. So we want to get a high ABV, clean, pure spirit run. And so what we're going to use, not a pot still, we're going to use the converted reflux still, where there's a lot of copper surface to keep the minerals down, takes all the unwanted flavors out, but allows pure, clean, crystal clean, pure spirit to go through. And that's a high quality, high ABV spirit. So that's the goal. Let's see how that works. Thanks for watching, guys. Hey, if you've enjoyed the video, if you found it to be a little bit informative for you and you've enjoyed it, you've learned something, well, share it with a friend, and we'll catch up on the next one. Cheers, guys. Bye.